saw some complaints about, my subathon. Complaints about, my content and stuff like that.
Ironmouse is the alter ego of a Puerto Rican Twitch star who's kept her real identity anonymous and crafted an elaborate backstory in service of her online persona. In real life, she suffers from a chronic illness called common variable immune deficiency, which leaves her highly susceptible to infection, as well as a lung condition. Even before the coronavirus pandemic, this has forced her to isolate from people and has at various points left her bedridden and on oxygen. She never knows when it might impact her, which makes it difficult to prepare for just about anything. And so, largely homebound, she disappears behind her VTuber avatar.
I originally started streaming because I was lonely and I wanted something to do, but I was very nervous and worried about being on camera because of my personal life.
Instead of broadcasting themselves, VTubers use elaborate, often customized digital avatars as stand-ins. With the help of real-time motion capture software, these avatars mirror creators' movements and lip-sync along with what they're saying, effectively functioning as digital marionettes. A VTuber can look like just about anything, and the medium has allowed for an explosion of imagination. While the trend first gained notoriety in Japan in the early and mid-2010s, today, even some of the biggest Western live streaming personalities have debuted their own VTuber avatars.
Hi!
Ironmouse's marathon broadcast, during which she and her avatar even slept on stream, with friends and moderators entertaining viewers in her absence, ended on March 7th after 31 consecutive days. As far as numbers go, it was an unmitigated success. Viewers were able to extend the stream's duration by subscribing with real money, and as days turned into weeks, Ironmouse broke the record for most subscribed female streamer of all time, and eventually most subscribers of any streamer on Twitch, though only at that specific moment.
He holds the record for most subs of all time for a female streamer.
Dude,
You're
what
a
the
record
hell?
holder!
That's actually insane.
This
Oh my
is
God.
historic! Oh my god!
Dude, Guinness World Record.
Subscriptions cost viewers $4.99, with streamers pocketing 50%, and in some cases more depending on deals they've negotiated with Twitch. Ironmouse ended her marathon with nearly 172,000 subscriptions, meaning she took home hundreds of thousands of dollars. She's now the most followed VTuber on Twitch, surpassing all others in her rapidly growing field with over 1 million followers. Ironmouse is hardly the only VTuber to find success on Twitch, but many saw her all-out assault on the record books as evidence that VTubers have finally made it. Ironmouse is far from an overnight, or over-month, streaming success. She began streaming back in 2017 after her dreams of becoming a professional opera singer, with training and schooling to show for it, were dashed by her condition. Inspired by a Japanese VTuber named Kizuna AI, Ironmouse decided that she too would slip into the ageless skin of an anime character. But even then, she didn't intend to create a backstory and persona for her character, or to become part of the VTuber cinematic universe, which now is an industry full of collaborations and overlapping storylines, spans multiple countries, thousands of characters, and even a handful of VTuber-specific talent agencies. Ironmouse's nascent fanbase helped her craft an elaborate backstory for her character, who according to a fan-written wiki entry, might be Satan. But even digital devils have dreams. Ironmouse knew for years she wanted to do a marathon stream, but when she first started, she could only sustain it for a couple hours at a time due to her health issues. A marathon stream was out of the question until she began to blow up on Twitch, at which point she could finally afford higher quality healthcare. This allowed Ironmouse to push herself further. Last year, she hosted a charity stream that lasted 11 hours, at which point she began to feel like she might be ready to go for a day or more. While sickness ultimately delayed the marathon's beginning, it finally kicked off in February of this year. Viewers, well aware of her condition, expressed concern about how she was holding up. This led to a difficult dynamic.
I'm so used to my family treating me like that because I know that they love me, but I just really wanted people to treat me like a normal person. I don't want people to pity me. I don't want people to feel bad for me.
Ironmouse believed it would last 2 or 3 days, tops. Never in her wildest dreams did she imagine it'd go for a month. But increased attention also means additional scrutiny. Just a week after Ironmouse concluded her marathon stream, a controversial streamer named Quinn69 went on a rant about how VTubers are cheating because they don't need to do anything to look presentable.
They need to pretend to be 13 and put on some fake cringe voice and just create parasocial relationships with desperate weebs who can't get a girlfriend in real life because they're pathetic.
Not long after, Twitch users who shared similar views deluged Ironmouse's chat with hateful messages, a practice known as a hate raid on Twitch. Ironmouse, however, doesn't think what she does is all that different.
There's people that don't use their camera. There's people that use like a PNG. There's people who are VTubers. There's people who use their cameras. At the end of the day, we're all just streaming.
Ironmouse also addressed comments about her voice. It's just her regular speaking voice. It's another byproduct of her condition, which is known to cause repeated respiratory complications, she explained.
Yo, is this your real voice? Yeah, it is. Sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Among the 200 most viewed streamers in February, only 9 were women, according to data collected by the analytics firm StreamHatchet. It's noteworthy, then, that some viewers on Twitch find a fictionalized VTuber image of a woman more palatable than many real ones, a phenomenon that echoes some of anime fandom's more pernicious patterns. This raises thorny questions around Twitch's culture, the future of VTubing, and sexism on the platform. Still, Ironmouse insists that she's no different from any other female streamer, or any streamer of any gender for that matter. She expects that as VTubers continue to gain ground on their fleshy counterparts, they'll become more accepted. Despite a lifetime of health-borne impediments, she's living her dream. Or a version of it, anyway.
Streaming is an escape for me, so I just really wanted to have an environment where we could all just feel like we're hanging out and we could all just have fun together.